If I wanted to, how could I help the church be healthy that I'm a part of? A big part of that is how we communicate to one another. Proverbs talks a lot about that, and we're going to dive into that in this video. Now, this video is a part of a larger series of videos called Virtual Coach. If you go to our YouTube channel, Bethel Pittsburgh, go to playlist, you'll find a playlist titled Virtual Coach, and in there we are walking through more of the practical side of how to follow Jesus Christ. If you want the more Bible study side of that, that's under the playlist, The Disciple. I'll mention Scripture in this series, but for the most part, we're attempting to be practical. So how do I have a positive impact on the church that I am a part of? And that's affected by my communication style. We can see in Proverbs talks a lot about that. We can see James saying, be slow to speak and quick to listen. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, Jesus says. And so there's a need to be considerate in the way I'm saying things. And a good example of that is Proverbs 15, verse 1 says, a soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. So that means that it's not what I'm saying in this instance necessarily. It's the tone with which I'm saying it in. It's the attitude I have behind the words that I'm saying, that I can say things in a way that's gentle, considerate, respectful, and thoughtful in regard to the context, that by doing that, what I say is more received than if I were to say the same thing, but to say it without being considerate to others and their feelings and thoughts in the context of the situation, and being maybe disrespectful as I'm saying it. And that's going to affect how it's received. And we see this issue surface in Colossians 4:6. Let your speech always be gracious, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how you ought to respond to each person. And I like that it says each person, because not everybody receives everything the same way. And so when I'm communicating to someone, I'm communicating my own thoughts and feelings and impressions with my own type of style and history to someone else who has their own context, but same listing of qualities, but a different set of qualities. And if I want to communicate effectively, because the goal should be to achieve whatever the goal is. And so let's say you think that something should happen in the church. You think a certain program should take place. You think that money should be spent on a certain thing, or certain things should happen to the facilities. Certain teachings should take place. You have an opinion, and you believe that something should or should not take place. And you want to do something about that, and you're going to begin to communicate with that. Well, you certainly should make sure you are communicating in a way that's respectful to those who are the decision makers, which would be, in our case, myself. If you're part of another church, it would be the pastor, and then the board, and the leadership staff, and those who may be more influential within the church. You're going to want to make sure that you speak respectfully, that you're open and considerate to what they have to say, and that you're not attempting to just be in control, but you're attempting to work with other people. And when you collaborate in this way, there's a much greater likelihood that what you're hoping will take place. Doesn't always guarantee that, but there's a much greater likelihood if you carry yourself the right way, especially if you make sense in what you're saying. You're able to explain the justification for it. You're able to explain it biblically. You're able to answer questions and counter objectives or objections to it. And if you can't, then it's going to fall flat. And if you can't, you might also ask, is it a communication style, or is this maybe not a good idea? And these are things that we need to keep in mind as we're working within the church. And it even can come out in just your social interactions with those within the church on, say, Sunday morning before or after service. The way you're communicating to people will send messages. You could potentially be sending messages like, I don't care about you, I wish you weren't here, I don't value your opinion, and I don't care about your feelings. And that could be communicated by body language, posture, tone of speech, and choice of words. And so I am having an impact, and people at times will leave a church or not be faithful to a church or not get involved or not progress in different ways because of what other people are communicating that aren't even within leadership. And so I want to be always considerate. If I really want to help my church be healthy and strong and continue to grow and move forward, then I need to be careful to consider my words. If you have any questions on that, please leave that in the comments below. I'd be glad to answer them. Or if you would like to grow in your faith in person and you live in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area, we would love for you to join us. We meet Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. and Sundays at 10 a.m. Or if you can't join us in person, you're always welcome to join us live stream. We live stream our Sunday 10 a.m. services on our YouTube channel, Bethel Pittsburgh. We hope to see you at either place, but may God richly bless you.